So we have arrived. Hello. I'm in the bathroom. This is our bathroom. It's pretty nice actually. Okay, that's the toilet. I don't really think you need to see that. But yeah, it's not bad. It's a really nice hotel. It's pretty the lights are so low, but yes, hi. Yeah, I really love this. It's my favourite thing on the wall. I might do that when I get home. It is really nice, isn't it? Lovely and jubbly. Hello. Hi guys. Alright, so we're in Marrakech. No, hang on, you already know we're in Marrakech. We're in... No, what's the name of this place? Medina. Oh, that's gone. We're in Medina right now. So this is the view from where we are on a balcony somewhere in the middle of Medina Market. What's trying to hide? Yes, they can't see us, so you're all good. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. It's really lovely out here, and yeah, we've walked pretty much around most of the market, and haven't seen any snake charmers, which is apparently like their thing over here. And what else? What else were we looking for? Yeah, that's about it. But anyway, oh yeah, then we sort of stopped and tried to watch a bit of a performance, some sort of magician guy, but he didn't do a very good job, so, you know, we walked away. But pretty much everyone seems really friendly and really nice, so yeah, it's pretty cool. So today is our third day in Marrakech, and we've taken a trip to the Atlas Mountains. We haven't reached yet, but we've stopped just to take a sort of view, and then also just to buy some stuff from the local Berbers. So we discovered that the Berbers are the original Moroccans, and they came from, according to our guide, Spain. So they're of Spanish origin, and they've settled in the mountains, which I'm not sure if you can see behind me, which is where we're going. And the Atlas Mountains, according to our guide again, are the second highest mountains in Africa. So just to the back of me, don't know if you can see back there. And so yeah, we're looking forward to going to see there. And Ross did a fantastic job of negotiating with the Berber guy who was selling his wares. And yeah, we're we're looking forward to the next leg. So this is a traditional cooking stove, I guess, and it's charcoal based, and they make tagine here, so, and bread apparently. So this appliance here is used to grind flour, grind wheat. Wheat is here, and then they put it inside here, and then they move this.
See, like that, like this, like this, and we take the weight here, and we make around like that, because this it's little heavy, see, see, and after we take this one, this one, this, you know why, for what's this? The fire, for fire.
Oh, okay.
It puts the milk here, and after they give other kind of milk with like you know,
yogurt.
What is his name? Like fromage, like.
Oh,
cheese.
creme fraiche.
Oh, not creme fraiche. Cream cheese. Like we see in Arabic, in French, la beurre. The beurre.
Cheddar.
Butter.
Butter. Oh, butter.
Yeah. They put the meat, the meat with the vegetables. Everything at the same time, and with the olive oil.
Yeah.
And after they use in the shaku, slow fire, like that. When you finish, it's good. You will eat even your finger. She said a lot of people.
So We're on the side of a mountain here, walking towards a restaurant. It's kind of dangerous. I don't know if you can see this behind me. Yeah, hang on. Yeah, so back there is a river. Hope you can see it. And there's restaurants down at the bottom there as well, so it's pretty cool. And just walking up. I'm always amazed at the fact that people can build houses on the side of the mountains. Right, so finally we've arrived in the mountains. Well, at the area where the waterfall is. So that's the waterfall over there, and it's absolutely freezing. So cold, it's unbelievable. We've taken off our trainers and you know, sitting in the coolness of the water. But my goodness, it is very, very, very cold. But yeah, I mean, it's really nice and refreshing. So that's the great thing about it. And the guide is trying to encourage us into the water there. He's running in it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And there's lots and lots of tourists behind me, as you can see. Turn around there. So yeah, pretty cool, huh? There's even people going here. It's so cold. I don't even know how they stand it, but you know, I guess they must be used to it. To just give you a sense of perspective, we were up there in the waterfalls. That's how high up we've been, and we've come all the way down. And there's obviously restaurants and people making their life within the sides of the mountain. So, yeah. Alright, so we've stopped for lunch, and this is our view of where we are. And it's lovely down there. You can see this, I don't know if you can see that properly, it's a river running behind us. So this is the restaurant, you can see our waiter. So yeah, it's really lovely. And as we've been driving, there's been these little balls of cotton that have been floating around. So this is a piece that I picked up. And yeah, there's lots of cotton trees all up in the mountainside. I mean, I'd never seen a cotton tree before. So it's just weird to see cotton just floating in the air. So yeah, it's pretty lovely. So we're going to eat in a minute. Okay, so a couple of things that we've learned about the Berbers. We went into a Berber house, and that house is a house that has been opened up by the local Berbers for tourists to come and see what their traditional way of life was. And you could see there was a couple of cows in the house, and they gave us bread with some honey and olive oil. So that was really lovely. The Berbers traditionally don't open their homes to tourists, but a couple of them have started to do that. They were saying that because of the French colonisation of Morocco, and obviously that came with its own cruelties, so generally they don't make any distinction between Europeans, so everybody is, you know, a French person and thus evil to them. So they don't really distinguish between English, French, German or whatever. So long as you've got white skin, they do perceive you in a sort of slightly negative way. But you know, they've started to relax their attitude towards foreigners. Day 4 of our holiday, and we've been on a bit of a tour around the old part of Morocco. I can't remember the name right now, but I will post it when I remember. We've been into a tannery where they make leather, and yeah, it absolutely stank. When we arrived, they gave us mint, and we didn't really understand why they were giving us mint. It's only when we arrived into the tannery where they make the leather that we realised the purpose of the mint, which is basically to stop us from gagging from the awful, awful smell from the processing of the leather. So the guide was explaining that they use pigeon poo to as a natural acid to get the hair off the animal skin, which then turns up, after various processes gets turned into leather. So bought a bag, which I'll show you later on. And then when we came out, the guy who gave us the mint expected some kind of payment. As in this country, I never really know what is customary to give as a sort of tip, I guess. But we found out that coins really aren't going to be enough. I think maybe like €1, so maybe like $2.
10 dirham.
Yeah, 10 dirham would be a fairly decent tip. So yeah, all right, we're in the Palais something. Again, I'll post it when I figure out what it is. But yeah, this is where we are at the moment. So panoramic. And one of the things that you really notice is the intricacy of the artwork, particularly on the ceilings. This is an example, but when you get further in, it's too dark to film, but you can see just how intricate some of this detail is. And you do wonder how on earth they got up there to be able to do it, and then also the amount of time that it took as well. So, and then there's all these trees as well. Okay, so we're in Rue, what's it called?
Marjorelle Gardens.
Jardin Marjorelle. And it looks like it's basically a botanic gardens. If you can see loads of cactuses and other plants around here. Yeah, it's pretty, I don't know. It's not really exciting. It's about 50 dirhams each to get in. Don't know if that's really worth it, to be honest, but I think because... No, you can go on. I think... yeah, you can, yeah. I think because that's just how much you pay, really, around here. So, yeah. Say hi. Oh, like that driver there. Talk about yeah. So Ross was rechristened. What was your name? Mustafa. Yeah, and I am Fatima now. So yeah, cool. Okay, so this is nearly the end of day 4 of our holiday. So we're going to have 4. By the time the holiday finished, we would have had 4 days and 4 nights in Marrakech. So I've really enjoyed my holiday so far, and I just wanted to show you the bag that I bought in the tannery. So this is the bag. It's got all this intricate detailing around one. Well, I wouldn't say it's intricate, but it's got the detailing at the front, which I really like, and I like the shape of the bag as well. And it's big enough to hold all like A4 pads and things like that. So that's why I really like this bag. The only thing I'll say about it is the workmanship is not particularly up to scratch, because I can see along the seams here daylight coming through the seam here where it's not been stitched very well. So when I get home, I'll just use my sewing machine and just reinforce the stitching. But I really like this bag. So this is like my 3rd time trying to make this video, this final blog entry. The opposite me there is a construction site, and these 2 women keep staring at me. So in the end, I just decided I was just going to wave. One thing about life out here, if you are Black African, is it seems as if there's not a lot of discrimination, I don't think. I haven't seen any evidence of it, and I'm not sure if it's because it's obvious that I am a tourist. If I was an economic migrant from sub-Saharan Africa, I wonder if my experience would be a little bit different. The nature of our interracial relationship hasn't really been an issue. Certainly when I've been to other parts of Europe, they do stare, and they don't stare in a sort of curious way. They stare in that kind of rude way. So what I mean is that it's like if you catch somebody looking at you, they normally would look away, whereas when I say in parts of Europe, like in particular Barcelona, when I was there, they really stare you out, so they don't actually feel ashamed of staring or you catching them staring, because they don't have a lot of black people there anyway. But yeah, I mean, in comparison to how I felt discriminated against in Barcelona, I don't really experience that over here. But like I said, if I was an economic migrant, I'm not sure if my experience would have been different. But our tour guide was saying that a lot of black Africans do live here, and you know the government has kind of created a sort of path to citizenship. But this might not be his exact words, but maybe this is how I interpreted what he was saying. And I did see a few black Africans in the market, and they seem to, you know, be getting along just as everybody else was getting along. The black Africans tend to be from the French-speaking colonies, so, you know, I think in particular Senegal and Ivory Coast and Mali, I think a lot of people were quite, a lot of those kind of Africans were prevalent in the market, but not that many, so you do notice them because there aren't that many of them. Everybody else speaks French, so the French influence is very, very strong here. So people will naturally assume that you are French, and they will start speaking to you in French. So I've had to like rack my brains to try and remember the little of the French that I learned some 10-15 years ago at school. So yeah, what else? One thing about Marrakech is that they've really made a concerted effort to try and encourage tourism over here. So what you see is a lot of reconstruction. So a prime example is, let me show you, is where I'm sitting in our hotel room. Over there is a vast swathe of land which is due for probably redevelopment. And probably they're going to put some more hotels on there. So, and then down here, I'm not sure if you can see, is a couple of restaurants down there. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it feels like a completely new town, and there isn't a lot of the evidence of the old Marrakech as I would have expected to see. And I'm not sure if it's because our tour guides haven't felt that we would be interested in seeing the old Marrakech. So we've sort of been taken to places. We've been taken to places that are very typically geared towards tourism, and I've not really enjoyed that process. Well, I've enjoyed it, but I think I've had pretty much enough. And I think mainly the reason I've had enough is because the system of bartering here can be very, very tiresome. I mean, you have bartering in Ghana as well, so. But both that whole bartering system I just find really tiresome, because they know you're a tourist, and then they assume that just because you're from Europe, you know, you like have an abundance of cash. So, you know, if they charge you like, you know, 16 times what it actually, you know, and what an item actually costs, you can afford to bear that cost. And yeah, it's true, you can afford to bear the cost, but we came with a budget. And, you know, you realise that you can blow through that budget very, very quickly, because if you don't haggle, you will end up paying, you know, more for items over here than you would if you were to like pay for them outright at home. So you just have to be, you know, quite you have to take the whole bartering system as a fun game, and personally for me, I just don't like that whole bartering system. I mean, my mum loves it, you know. she is the queen of bargaining. But yeah, other than that, really, I think I've really had a pretty good time. I'm not sure that I would rush back, but I've still had a good time. I might be back maybe in another few years, but you know, there are other countries I want to visit now, so that's the reason I'm not rushing back, not necessarily for any other reason. But yeah, that's the end of my vlog. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment box, and I will try to reply. Thanks guys, bye.